thank you so much for what you're doing here in Manatee County and here at Seaport Manatee. And we thank you for your blessing upon us, and each thing that we do, we see your hand of provision and your hand of protection. And Lord, we pray that in the coming year that we would see that continue, that we would continue to be grateful. And as we're grateful, we know that that opens doors for you to do more for us than we ever imagined. I ask that you bless this time, that your words will be ours, your thoughts will be ours. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
James, you give a beautiful prayer.
They're laughing.
I think of it almost every time you do it. I'm like, these are really pretty prayers. It used to be your job, but still.
We'll pass it to you for audience introductions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Good morning and welcome to the last meeting of 2021 for the Port Authority. Let's start with audience introductions.
Oh, cool, finally.
Dave Sanford, Port Staff.
Jennifer Cowan, Port Council.
Denise Stuffelbeam, Port Staff.
Virginia Zimmerman, Port Staff.
Sunshine Venable, Port Staff.
Charles Tillotson, Port Staff.
Terry Fluke, Tampa Bay Pilots.
Lisa Gillespie, Tampa Bay Pilots.
Malcolm Edwards, Port Staff.
George Eisenmenger, Port Staff.
Abby Lindykamp, Port Staff.
Keith Robbins, FDOT.
Teresa Daugherty, Port Staff.
Steve Abernathy, Gulf Stevedore.
Denise Tuck, Del Monte.
Susan Schroeder, Clerk Staff.
Brenda Jones, Port Staff.
David St. Pierre, Port Staff.
Mo Marovchak, Port Staff.
Luke Quapple, Federal Marine Terminals.
Okay, welcome. That's kind of loud. Okay, welcome everyone. And we're open, at this time, we'll open up for public comments. And if we do not have any public comments, we will go right into item number 1, employee recognition.
Thank you very much.
Whoops.
Mike?
Drop the trash.
On our security officers, I'm going to have David St. Pierre, our supervisor, to come up and make a presentation.
Good morning. It's my pleasure this morning to present Brenda Jones. Brenda Jones is a member of our security staff who started with us 15 years ago. Fresh out of the Army as a retiree, Brenda came to us as a security officer, and she's actually, over the years, filled several roles within the department. She was a security officer, became one of our primary evening shift rovers, was advanced to one of our security supervisor, and currently has the responsibility for maintaining all of her IT equipment after she got a degree in computer science from Kaiser University. So Brenda's been a very critical part of the team. We keep her extremely busy with all this technology that we run to support our security department. So again, Brenda, congratulations. It's a pleasure having you with us. Now your turn.
Thank you.
I love it.
Oh, come on, Brenda. You can
Wait, don't go. Brenda, don't.
Right, we have some commissioners that would like to say something to you. Commissioner Whitmore.
The first impression is everything. You're the happiest security guard I've ever met at a port with high security, and I haven't seen you not smile yet. So you are totally, it looks like you're a total asset to your department. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And congratulations, and keep smiling. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have a very shy security staff unless they have the rest of them.
Right.
We have a small change to the agenda. Unfortunately, Steve Kelly from Carver could not make it today, but we have an even more distinguished guest, Denise Tuck from Del Monte, with whom we just have completed our latest and newest agreement. So Denise is going to come up and explain what all her responsibilities, what Del Monte is doing. She's the general manager of the terminal here at the port. I believe probably in the last 30 years, she's only the third general manager. So there's been very little change since Del Monte came here. Probably about how many years, Denise? About 3? Right. 3 already. But since Del Monte got here, we have 2 Denise. We have a lot of Denises here. How many years, Denise, since Del Monte's been here? 30? 1989. 89. So,
33.
one of our longest serving customers. So, Denise, if you don't mind coming up, you're next.
Love this sweater.
Happy holidays.
There you go. Oh, great. Thank you. Here's the, yes, if you want it.
Yes.
Okay, to change, okay? And it's all yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Steve Abernathy. I know you heard his name, but I'd like to officially introduce him to everyone. He is our superintendent for the newest stevedore company that Del Monte has employed. Steve, would you stand up, please?
Yay.
I kind of prodded him into attending. Okay, so earlier this week, I was at a meeting with the Port Authority, and I asked the question, what would you like for me to talk about? Would it be myself, or would it be Del Monte? And Mr. David Sanford said, yes.
That's Dave. That's Dave.
So y'all can thank him for this, okay? All right. Of course, everyone knows, I believe everyone knows, my name is Denise Tuck. So officially, I'd like to say good morning to commissioners, to the Port Authority staff, to the fellow tenants, and the guests. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Denise Tuck. I am the port manager for Del Monte Fresh Produce. I joined the Del Monte family in December of 1997. Please do not do the math.
We already did. It's too late.
Okay, that's fine. I joined the Del Monte team as a quality assurance manager. Over the years, I've had the pleasure of working with many groups that deal directly and indirectly with decisions to ensure the best quality to our customers. I have enjoyed many firsts in my extensive career in agriculture, starting with being chosen as the first female for commodity grading training through the federal government. It was an upward mobility diverse program, and it was successful.
Yay. Excellent.
The training afforded me the ability to broaden my knowledge in an unexpected and very important field. I have had the opportunity to live in 5 different states, experience many different cultures, and share my knowledge with my peers. In 2010, I became the first senior food safety manager for all 4 Del Monte port locations across the country. I am very proud to announce a minimum of 98% overall rating for the food safety certification during my tenure.
Wow. Excellent.
In 2019, I became the first female port manager, which Carlos definitely wanted me to tell everyone. I'm very proud of it as well. So thank you for that. For Del Monte Fresh Produce. Although 2020 and 2021 has been difficult years due to the pandemic, I am very proud of my entire staff, their resilience and commitment to our team and to our entire company. My late father always told me, you have to be a good leader to be blessed with good followers. That is all I have on myself.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. So now, about Del Monte. As everyone is aware, Del Monte has been here in Port Manatee since 1989. We have had I have been here most of those years, I will say. We have had a very good relationship with the Port Authority. The business that we do, we would like to continue to grow. I believe that we have a position in the marketplace to bring in much more cargo, to generate much more funds, and to prosper together. This year, well, actually I should say next year because this is still 2021. Projected for 2022 arrivals, we project 320,310 pallets of bananas, pineapples, melons, plantains, and specialty products. On a breakdown, bananas, we expect 8,229,792 boxes in the year alone. Pineapples, in excess of 6 million. Plantains, 592,000 excess. Melons, 840,000 boxes. Specialty products, 2 million plus. And that includes mangoes, tomatoes, papayas, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, avocados, and anything else you could think of. We always love to diversify. Manatee is one of Del Monte's 4 port locations serving United States food supply chain with fresh fruits and vegetables. This facility serves mostly the southeast region. However, we ship as far north as Canada. Our products, tomatoes, pineapples, plantains, cantaloupe, papayas, mangoes, peppers, avocados, which is a huge product for Del Monte. Of course, bananas. I just want y'all to soak that in. Yes, the watermelons. Okay, let me catch up to myself here. The Del Monte Gold, presently calling on Port Manatee, like our 5 sibling vessels, are energy efficient, eco-friendly by dramatically reducing fuel consumption and emissions into the environment. The vessel has a full cargo capacity of 634 plugs, for 40-foot high-cube refrigerated containers and reefers. We strive to fill this vessel, and in the next year, I believe we will achieve our goals by the end of March. That is very aggressive thinking, but we can do it. Of course, this is one of our vessels in operation. I'm sure that the entire commission has seen us in operation, and those who have not, it is something to see, and we welcome all guests. We also are very proud of our sustainability and corporate commitment. In 2020, we were focused on living out our promise of providing healthy choices to consumers, empowering the health and well-being of our team and the community, and protecting our planet. Through our collective efforts, we not only met but surpassed 2 of our 2025 sustainability goals around the environmental protection and team members' well-being, while continuing to make steady progress towards our other goals. We have now set even more ambitious goals for 2030, such as implementing regenerative and soil health management practices in our tropical locations, because that's where our products start. Reducing food loss and organic waste sent to landfills, and reducing virgin plastic uses. We also are proud of our newly began composting pilot program. On December the 6th, 2021, our Manatee location partnered with a local composting company to begin a pilot program in an effort to reduce and hopefully eliminate all food waste products from being sent to the landfills. Our company-wide goal is to reduce food waste sent to landfills by 50% by 2030. Port Manatee's goal are to reduce our footprint in landfills by 85% by 2025. Port Manatee's prioritized action on food waste is to anything we cannot ship to our customers for sale, we will first donate to charitable organizations. We are very committed to the community. After that point, if it is not consumable, we will ship it to the local animal farms. And third, we will be composting. We will return all that product back to the earth. So we would really like to not send anything to the landfill, including our cardboard boxes. Our cardboard boxes is now being recycled back to the tropics, where they can make new boxes. Thank you.
Check. Okay, we have a couple of commissioners with some comments. Commissioner Ball.
Thank you. Great presentation. I've been here a while and I'm very familiar with Del Monte, so it's really nice to have you here with us this morning. And I just wanted to say I had not heard what you were going to be doing with extra, food. And our food banks, we certainly have a lot of need. So I am just so impressed, and I just want to say thank you. If you need to be introduced to Mary Beth at the Manatee Food Bank, let me know.
Actually, I do know her, but I
Okay,
do
good.
appreciate all of your help, because we have even more product that we can donate. Because just as a side note background, I used to sit on the procurement board of United Against Poverty, which is located over in Orlando. And my commitment to them was to funnel as much of the cargo through their organization. I no longer sit on that board, however, I continue to be committed to the community. So any information that you could share with me would be greatly appreciated.
I'd love to do that with you. And I just thank you for being here at Port Manatee. We really appreciate it. And I look forward to moving forward with Del Monte in the future.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Servius.
Yes, thank you, Denise. A great presentation. And I really appreciate the sustainability efforts that you told us about today. That's huge, and that is the future. Where are most of your products exported from when they come to Port Manatee? Which countries?
We import from Costa Rica mainly, Guatemala, Colombia, Ecuador, Panama at this time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Whitmore.
I want to clear up a few facts. We are the only ones that get your pineapples, correct?
We, as in...
Are you going to Tampa, Port of Tampa now, or whatever they call it now, Tampa Bay? They
No,
changed
we
their
don't
name.
have anything going into
Thank
Tampa.
you. Because as you know, we got barred out of their pineapple conference because and we're the only ones that do pineapples in this area, so I appreciate it. I always have to bring that up because it made the news. And I agree with Commissioner Ball. We have Meals on Wheels, and also we do Feeding Tampa Bay, both of them. So hopefully, now they're coming from the docks here, so how do you know that they're wasted enough to give it to distribute at this level?
Well, as a
Quality
ex-quality person.
Oh, okay, that's how, okay.
Yes, and we have a quality staff on site, you know, that evaluates the product, and once it gets to a certain age, we do not, you know, sell it. We would try to, you know, funnel it into other avenues, and of course, charitable donations is the first one.
And I'm so impressed with your recycle program and your compost program. It's so great to hear about such a large company, you know, as Del Monte doing that. So from the little port of Manatee, I want to thank you for taking your part in not wasting anything.
Thank you so much. We are very proud of that.
Yeah.
Commissioner Satcher.
Thank you so much for the presentation. That's just exciting what you're doing, what Del Monte's doing, and we're excited to be a part of it. Is there a contact with the food that comes in and that you donate? Is your plan just to do just the food banks, the larger food banks, or is there someone, you know, a person they could contact if we know? Because we deal with a lot of organizations that help in that way. Could we say, hey, call Denise, or what would work?
As long as the organization is a 501c, I believe is their call numbers, we can donate. We can help out with events. We can help out with, you know, different things that's going on in the community, just to make sure that we are a part of it. So, yes, you can contact myself, and we will be glad to look at it, yes.
Okay, wonderful. And then for the future, right now, this may be getting into a little bit too specific, but if it ever opens up for you to have an opportunity, and right now they're having some real unrest, but boy, the avocados in Haiti are amazing. I mean, and they just grow on the side of the road, and best avocados I've ever had in my life, and it's not even close. They're amazing. So
I will definitely pass that information on.
Haiti, it's a great place, wonderful people, and a lot of potential that hasn't been realized, and of course, we're all praying for them.
As well have the need at this time because of all the things that has happened there recently. So yes, I would definitely pass that along.
Anyone else? And I'll just wrap up by saying thank you. And thank you for your initiatives and the work that you're willing to do in the community, and for all the things that you do here at the port and the impact that you make abroad. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Hard act to follow.
She's right good.
She's very good.
Yes.
She's very good. And I think, if I may, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for a comment, is that this is all part of the supply chain. This is all part of the global supply chain, but there's one differentiation that was brought up, which is where do they come from? So obviously they're coming from the Caribbean and they're coming from Central America. And that's where a lot of these companies that were before in the Far East are starting already to migrate towards near shore and getting it closer to the consumer. You know, we can live without an extra television set, but fruits and vegetables are a different story. And obviously, Del Monte has realized that the nearer you are to your end user, to your customer, the safer the supply chain is. And as you know, I mean, in terms of toilet paper, we've missed it. You know, there's been a lot of shortages of paper, but in terms of fruits and vegetables, it has not been anywhere near as difficult. And that's because Del Monte, among others, have been able to maintain the supply chain, not only effectively delivering, but also with the intent of having food safety, which is another factor that USDA has. Anything coming into the US has to pass not only the safety for quality, but also food safety, that there isn't anything introduced in those products that could harm anybody. So really, Del Monte does a fantastic job at doing that. And then on top of that, as you heard, they donate, they compost, they, you know, all sorts of good and charitable things that they do for the local community. So I want to thank Del Monte again and Denise, you know, for being on top of all of this.
All right, moving right ahead to item number 4, the consent agenda.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If with your consideration and with the board's consideration, we would request review and approval of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion, and we have multiple seconds. All in favor, say, wait for the record. Who was it?
Kevin.
Commissioner Ball?
No, I don't need it. It's good. As long as it gets second.
And Commissioner Ball second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Item number 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. You know, we are expanding our container yard quickly. We can't finish it fast enough. We have a change order here to continue to expand it even further and to kind of close it. Costs have gone up, as you know, in many commodities and products, and we're experiencing those increased costs as well. And engineering changes, because again, the port needs to maintain the velocity with which those containers go through, and this new expansion will allow us to do that.
Pleasure of the board.
I move to approve and authorize the chairman to execute change order number 7.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Whitmore. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Number 6.
Thank you again. For that, this change is essentially an update and revision of our tariff, which is really our price book. The price book is what the price book is, and we have changes periodically. It is published. It's on the web. From time to time, we make those changes with your concurrence. And as a result, we will look forward for your consideration of agenda item number 6.
Pleasure of the board.
I move approval of agenda item number 6 as contained in our agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Serbia and a second by Commissioner Van Ossibridge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously, and now we will go to public comments. And at this time, we have no public comments, and we have FDOT comments.
I heard from FDOT this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to give you just a couple updates on things. One, we are in the midst of updating our District 1 Freight Mobility and Trade Plan. The last one was published.
Could you please state your name for the record?
I'm sorry, Keith Robbins, District 1 Freight and Seaport Coordinator, FDOT. As I was saying, we're in the midst of updating our District Freight Mobility and Trade Plan. It was first published in 2016, so we're in the midst of a 5-year update, hoping to publish it, the revised edition, in the summer of '22. And we'll be having a stakeholder feedback session at South Florida State College in next month on January 19th for some of our stakeholders in that area, and we'll be getting input from the port as well, because obviously port activity is included in that. Progress of our Piney Point Road PD&E, it's ongoing. I actually have a meeting on Monday morning in Bartow with the consultant staff who did their observations of the gate traffic last month. So I'll be hearing what their feedback, what their findings were on that. Again, we're shooting for a closure on the PD&E within the next 12 to 18 months, with targeting construction in year 27 or 28. The progress on our signal project at US 41 and the south side of I-275. It has been approved, and we're actually going out for a low bid design build contract in early 22. Hope to award it in the summer of 22 and go to construction with any luck, pending no delays on the delivery of materials. We should have it in place hopefully by the summer of 23. Lastly, we'll be bringing forward, the port has in hand to bring forward to you at your next board meeting in 2022, at least 2 PTGAs, new PTGAs, one for the FDOT support in the purchase of a new hopper for the port, and the second for the upgrades on security card access readers for South Dock Gate. And pending any of your questions, that's all I have.
Commissioner Ball?
Yeah, Keith, I just wanted to say that, you know, I think DOT has always been such a great asset to the port, and I don't know what we'd do without you guys. And as a matter of fact, I got a call not about the port, but this morning from LK already. It was like 7:30 in the morning. Couldn't believe it. But I just want to say thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, you and your family.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more
Your
comments?
partnership, for sure.
And I'll echo the same. Thank you for your work and the things that FDOT continue to do to make an impact in our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it. Okay. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
time for executive director
Executive
comments.
comments. Okay, first comment I'll make is that this is my 10th year here. Since I joined in 2012. Things have, as you will see by the first slide, things have gone well, fortunately. This is kind of the revenue picture and bottom line picture of what we have. We've had a significant growth in both top line and bottom line revenues. Again, the whole idea was to maintain the port's viability, to be an independent, not only job generator and economic activity generator, but also to be economically self-sufficient. And as Commissioner Whitmore remembers, we were in trouble for a little bit. We get out of it rather quickly. And now we have, with the different chairmen we've had over the last few years, a port, you have a port that is really, really healthy and will continue to. The expansion plans, not only within the port, but also across the street. If you add up the acreage that has been purchased across the street, starting with Air Products, I Like New Technologies, and World Direct Shipping, it's increased the port's footprint for port purposes 50%. We are 1,100 acres. We've added about over 500 plus acres to that footprint across, which is now dedicated to port uses and guarantees the viability of the port. The results, again, are outstanding. They've really been able to accommodate this growth, but as we said earlier, we need to continue to grow the port in infrastructure to continue to accommodate the growth. Again, all of these commodities touch someone in Manatee County, Sarasota, etc. All of this affects someone in our region. I mean, it's really, we're bringing in here what you all use, what everybody uses. It continues to grow. There has not been any other pineapple conference, so we're good with our 39 million pineapples, avocados, bananas, etc. As Denise Tuck mentioned, we're really in good shape. And again, in containers, we are surging. We plan to continue to grow that. In fact, it wouldn't be too surprising if in the not too distant future we even are about, we're closing in on Tampa. We could be surpassing them with our 2 new cranes that we're getting, up to 4 cranes. And it's good for everybody because, again, containers are consumer driven. As the population expands, and you all know very well how that quickly is really going, how fast it's growing, this feeds the needs of the population growth. So again, tremendous growth in container handling, 53% up. In tons, an all-time high. So again, reflective of the revenue and reflective of the growth and expansion of the region. When people say home, they did a lot of home projects. The lumber expansion and others really reflect how quickly that has grown. We will be moving to expand our warehouse space also to accommodate the lumber especially that has to be on the roof in the coming years. Here's a quick little overview from our communications department. Okay. Thank you to our communications department. We're doing such a great job in-house, and saving us even more money. So we can put it back in construction and engineering. So next is really, in the next year, the update and review of our master plan, taking us out another, 5, 10, and 20 years. We're seeing explosive.
Oh, no,
Commissioner, you
I'm
have
looking at the map. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. So
Sorry.
just to
I'm sorry
just to
about
give
that.
you a brief orientation, I thought you had a question.
No, I'm sorry.
Is really to grow the port in berths south and north. Berths are runway length to a port. Without that, you can't bring in the bigger planes. The draft is good enough at 40 feet plus, but having additional berthing space will be crucial as we move forward, and this envisions growth both north and south. So again, bringing us up to the ability to fully utilize the berth space as well as the hinterland behind the berth, and recognizing that those additional 500 acres plus across the street will require additional berth space to accommodate their needs. And we'll be keeping you updated as the master plan develops over the next few months. Here we go. We're out there in the community. Again, at the chamber, we want to be visible in the community. We want them to know that although we're tucked in the little corner of the county, we have a significant impact in everything that Manatee County does, and we want to continue to do that. Again, our ongoing outreach to different communities, organizations, and chambers. So we're doing that actively, informing and educating the chambers as to what we're doing. And well, actually, let's. I'm going to go back one, leave it at this. I'm going to then maybe, before I give you instructions on how to get to the cruise terminal, for those of you who don't already know, perhaps, Mr. Chairman, you want to consider commissioner comments at this time, and then we can close it up.
We do have a couple of commissioners on the board. Commissioner Van Oscar, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to start off complimenting you. Explosive growth in the county, explosive growth at the port. You're handling it extremely well. Growth is a great thing, but people can foul it up too, and you're certainly not doing that. You're managing it extremely well. A quick question that is not overly pertinent, but I see the amount of lumber coming in. I'm just curious, where is the lumber coming in from? Where is it being imported from?
The lumber's coming in mostly, it used to be just Brazil. As a matter of demand, it's now some additional lumber, especially the plywood, the more expensive lumber, from China and Vietnam.
Okay. Gotcha. So we're destroying the rainforest to bring in this lumber, right?
Not
you, but
Lowe's, Home Depot.
Sure. We'll blame it on them. That's fine. Okay. I was just curious where it was coming from. I assumed it was Brazil, but I didn't know if
I would say
things had
80%
changed.
Brazil still.
Still
Really?
80% Brazil.
That's too bad.
Interesting. Well, it has to come from somewhere. I mean,
I
get
know,
it, but
I know.
okay. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Whitmore.
We have to, when anybody here sees Michael Gallen, we have to thank him for seeing Carlos's application or hearing that he was interested, but he was in Argentina at the time and didn't get his application in time to apply for the job. So he fought very hard for us to meet Carlos. I think we even did it remotely because you still were in another country. So I think we have to really give him our gratitude because this whole team here has done a good job. And I'm sorry, Sunshine, I'll never forget your name. I keep hearing that Beatles song ever since somebody told me your name a few minutes ago. So sorry about that, but I love it. I love your parents for naming you that. Also, and Commissioner Baugh can recognize the same thing. I think Commissioner Baugh was 3 years chair, and so was I.
Yes, indeed.
And they established long-time relationships. Pasha Group, and some of us know who Pasha Group was. Now they're a big shipping company in California that ships to Hawaii and all over the world, but their big thing is Hawaii. And John Pasha still stays in touch with me. And when we took him to try to recruit his business for a container yard, we served him mullet. And he goes, "That's trash fish. We're never going to eat that." And every time he'd come to town, he loved it. I mean, and he still talks about it. So, but I'm sure Commissioner Baugh can say the same thing on the friendship she's made and us trying to recruit business. So kudos to you. I would ask sometime, and I know we did it before, it was all in the public, the press was there, but it would be so great if we, and I always get the name wrong, if we could visit Manatee Key. Did I do it right? Manatee Key. And we had the press there and the board went there to see what great things that Phil did for the Auburnist Society. That is the group that manages it, correct? I'm not sure.
Correct.
But it's it's a jewel that we have in Manatee County, and it just complements, again, our coastline. And I think it's in Commissioner Saster's district, and it will be again. So I think it's something that if we can arrange like we did before, where the press was invited, it was an open public meeting, and we just got a tour of what great things that Auburn Society is doing there. And that is it. Thank you. Good job.
Okay, before we close, we're going to go to commissioner comments. So we've taken care of my right. Are you up now? Commissioner Servia?
Yes, thank you. Carlos, congratulations on almost 10 years. I remember when you were hired, and you've done such a phenomenal job, you and your team, building up Port Manatee. And as we were talking about before the meeting, I think it's almost harder to sustain that. So you guys will have lots of work in the future, but you're doing just a fabulous job. My question is about commodities. I mean, currently, agricultural opportunities and gasoline. What are we targeting next? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, I used an expression when I first came that if it floats, we're going after it.
Yeah.
So I think if it floats, we're going after it. Anything, because we're never assured that it's going to come or maintain. So first come, first serve. We target everything that is complementary. We also target diversification of commodities, both from the type of commodity to the business itself. So we are not going to be surprised by any, let's say, sudden drop in business. Mm-hmm. And so right now, very few customers exceed 10% of our total business. When Commissioner Baugh was chair, we ran a stress test on the port. I said, well, what happens here? We get into a situation like a COVID type situation. And what came out of it was that the port was very, very ready, willing, and able and prepared to survive such a stress test in terms of financial implications. And as a result, even in fact during the pandemic, the port grew instead of shrunk. But if any customer were to depart right now, it would not mean by any means that the port would be negatively affected economically. We would look to replace that customer because customers come and they go depending on the business. And so we've seen that. So the ability to rebound is very, very well established here.
Thank you.
Commissioner Baugh.
Yeah, I kind of cringed on that question because I know some of us that were here, we remember, and I've brought this up before, I'm sure Commissioner Whitmore will remember this as well, going up to St. Pete for a meeting with DOT about our port to the north of us because business was, at the time, going back and forth between, I'm beating around the bush here. It's very competitive is what I'm trying to say. It's very competitive, and thank goodness we had not participated in some of the things that had taken place ourselves here at Port Manatee, and but we had to hear another port kind of get chastised for the way that they had come after business from Port Manatee. So when that question was asked by Commissioner Survey, I was like, Carlos, don't say anything. Because I remember they watch our meetings. And in fact, there might even be someone here. We've had that before as well. So I was curious as to how you were going to handle that. So good job, Carlos.
Thank you.
And by the way, you and I kind of came at the same time.
Yeah.
You were a little bit before me. And you've done a fantastic job. So.
Well, I do want to thank, really, since the beginning, just about everybody who's here now has been with us since the beginning, and even before I came. It's really an honor to their expertise and professionalism. I'm only trying to direct the orchestra a little bit, and to hear from you all and make sure that the Port Authority is pleased with what we're doing. But we really meet regularly. The whole team meets practically daily. We're all abreast of what we're doing and coordinating it. So I really want to thank them. So if you don't mind, a little applause for the team.
Carlos, I was going there next. You took my thunder. But anyway, no, you really are. You're blessed to have the staff that you've had, and I've
Really
said
am.
that many, many times. I see some that are here that I was kind of sorry when they retired. But anyway, we're very blessed here at Port Manatee to have the staff that we have and to have you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Does that conclude your commissioner comments, Commissioner Baugh?
Oh, yes, I'm done.
All right, Commissioner Cruz, sir.
I'm good. Thank you very much, Carlos.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Satcher. So here we go.
Okay.
Just my thoughts, just to recap the year. Obviously, the port industry itself is very, very competitive. And one thing as a coach, when we're making that championship run, we always say, are you contending or are you pretending? Right? Are you contending or are you pretending? But it's quite clear with your leadership and with your team and all the different entities that are out here playing the role that they play to impact our community, is that we're not pretending out here at the seaport. We're contending, and we're continuing to make a difference and impact our community. And that starts with you, sir, right? And we just want to make sure we always extend our thanks to you. And one of the write-ups in here gave me a reference to a basketball, so I kind of tweaked it to my contending and pretending thing. I think we need to make sure that it's clear that this is our last Port Authority meeting of the year, and I'm sure we want to make sure everyone have happy holidays, and if you are traveling, have an opportunity to see your family and visit your loved ones and the people you care for, please make sure you be safe. Please make sure you be safe, and we'll go to that next clip right there so we can make sure what's next. I'll pass it to you, sir, before I close out.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I think, though, who's going to get up and, oh, here we go. Oh, fantastic. I didn't see him come in.
I did.
Oh, Manny.
Mr.
Manny,
Apici
too.
and Mr. President of the Propeller Club. He made it. He had a doctor's appointment. We have very loyal staff. He's still looking for his
retired.
last check. We hold a small retainer.
A lot of doctor's appointments.
For a
That's
year.
what I was talking about.
Yeah, we hold a small retainer until they're fully satisfied their obligations. So,
Do I have to use this?
Yeah.
yeah.
Matty Apici, president of
forget?
the Port Manatee Propeller Club, and I guess I used to work here occasionally, right? First of all, I'd like to wish you, happy holidays, and I hope all of you are coming to the Port Manatee Christmas party afterwards. And I wanted to make note, especially of the sponsors of the party itself, because it's really important that a lot of these companies really step up each time. And the sponsors are this year Allied Universal Corporation, FMT, Kinder Morgan, Logitech, and Seaport Manatee. And saying Seaport Manatee, I want to make a special note to thank Carlos, because he allows many of the staff members to participate in the planning of the various functions that we have each year with the Propeller Club. So I don't want to take too much time, but I want to mention just a couple of things. We continue to be a giving organization. For the first time this year, we supported in November My Best Friends, which was a local organization that provides support for breast cancer patients in the local area. And we're also looking for other types of organizations that we can support in the coming year. Want to mention that we had a very successful golf outing in November, where we raised $43,000, and we had a net profit of $23,000. And because of that, the board this past Tuesday decided to increase the allocation for local scholarships from $10,000 to $20,000. So all that money does go back, to the community, and we, supporting the Maritime Association, supporting the Anchor House. So these are the companies that are supporting us, and there's many organizations out there that support us all year for all that we do. So I want to thank everybody, and look forward to seeing you at the party.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you.
Are you done, sir?
Just one more thing, Mr. Chairman. Again, for those that directions, we can do that later or at the end after you're done, perhaps. We'll leave it up to you. We don't want anybody to get.
Well, I think we've had all our commissioner comments, and we just want to make sure everybody enjoy the party and be safe. And after you give out directions, I'll ring the bell.
Yes, many of you already know. So essentially, if you get out of the parking, you make a left turn and go down to, the former cruise terminal right over here. There'll be security people to guide you all the way. Parking is right in front of the terminal. Same thing where we have the ship shape showcase in the past. It's right there. So I don't think you'll be able to get lost, and therefore, at your convenience. It starts at about 11:30 though, right? I guess we're open now, right? Yes?
Yeah, 11:30.
I'll leave it up to you though, but essentially we'll be ready when you get there.
Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes the Port Authority, the Seaport meeting. I hate that.